New Orleans ladies, they don't just strut and sway from dusk till dawn. This is Hold My Sweet Tea. Well, hello. I'm Pearl.
And I'm Holly. Welcome to Hold My Sweet Tea, another tired edition. Actually, no, I feel a little bit better today.
That's what I was
Not
going
as
to say.
tired.
I'm feeling better. I'm getting better.
We're getting our groove back.
But my name's not Stella.
No. Not at all. So today we're not interesting enough to have a topic to talk to in the beginning because we didn't think of one. But we're going to jump into this really awesome story that Pearl has.
We're going to stay in New Orleans because why not?
Because we're already here. No.
Right? We're already here.
But I mean, New Orleans has like the most fascinating culture anyway, and
there's just so much.
Right. It's hard. So we always bounce back and forth. We'll try to move out and like go somewhere else and do a story here and there, but like we always come back. It's so much going on here.
So we're going to talk about Mary Oneida Toups, also known as the Witch Queen of New Orleans.
Ooh, I love a good witch.
Yeah. She actually is the high priestess of the Religious Order of Witchcraft.
Love it.
It is recognized by the state of Louisiana as an actual religion. So, like, it's a thing. She came to New Orleans from Meridian.
Like, okay.
During the hippie era.
Right. So she's like, I'm going to go to the city.
So, free love.
Yes.
the free love era.
The free love era.
So she was born April 25th, 1928 in Meridian.
Mm-hmm.
And she actually died in September of 1981. She was only 53 years old.
Oh, wow.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy.
And it's not even really anything that says what she died from, if it were just natural causes or whatever. It's, I guess they just want it to be a mystery.
A mystery death.
Leaving it.
But is she really?
A mystery.
She's still here in spirit. There we go.
But you know, I say like today, we'll start there.
Yeah.
There are people who are totally out there screaming, I'm a witch. Like, they're everywhere. Like, nobody's afraid to say that anymore.
Right. I've come out of the broom closet myself.
Yeah, it's not a thing. Nobody's worried about being burned at the stake or having a bad rep or any of that. They're just like, it's cool. It's cool to be a witch.
Right.
Which witch?
Which witch? All the witches.
You know, there are so many different kinds of witches.
Right. And didn't you say something about her being mentioned on American Horror Story? Coven?
Yes, she was. Mm-hmm. She was actually mentioned in there very briefly, but she was mentioned, which I thought was kind of neat. Which I think other people who knew who she actually was a little bit disappointed that they didn't delve into that a little bit more. But, you know, she got name dropped, bro.
Right. She is the supreme. I mean, hello. Although I love Jessica Lange. She's my favorite.
Yeah, she's fun. And I think that the idea of a witch in New Orleans is just fitting.
Right.
Like, there's vampires in New Orleans. Why would there not be witches?
Right. Nobody bats an eye. They're like, oh, okay. There's a voodoo queen, a witch.
Yep. And that's why I think it's funny, like, during the time that she actually moved to New Orleans is like, they're talking about the hippie time and whatever.
Mhm.
So you've got all these people over there in California with their gurus and all this other this little stuff. But here we are in New Orleans and we've got witches and voodoo and all that jazz.
Jazz, yes.
It's actually during the 60s is when Anton LaVey founded his Church of Satan in San Francisco. So in 1968, at 39 years old, is when Mary left her home in Meridian, planted her roots in New Orleans. New Orleans had already kind of had its own little vibe going on with stuff like that. And there was a Dr. John who was screaming about gree and voodoo, and he had created his night tripper image, which may have been a little more truth than fiction, but people didn't see it that way then. They were just kind of like, whatever. Right. And eventually her path would cross Dr. John's path. So she kind of got to know the locals at that point. Like, once she crossed paths with this man, it's like, on. Now I know all these people.
Right.
She met Albert Boots Toups, a native of the lower Ninth Ward. And he was actually a high-degree Freemason who happened to like to, dip his toes in the Santeria.
A little dabbling.
And root work pond.
Yes. little dabbling in the pond, I see. Take a little dip.
Yeah. So, fate have it. The stars align, and Boots and Mary.
There we go.
They
fell in love.
Aww. And become the French Quarter witchy power couple.
I was going to say, that's a power couple right there. Yeah. Witchcraft, Santeria, absolutely.
And he definitely, encouraged her to, work that craft and learn it and become the best that she could be. And they would also, hone this craft together so that their magic would be unstoppable.
Yes.
And she's a white witch, so she claimed, she wasn't into all the dark stuff or whatever. So I just want to clarify that up front. Yeah. They're not over there, conjuring demons and doing crazy stuff.
I mean,
she might, but I don't know. In 1971, Mary opened her witch's workshop at 521 St. Philip Street in the French Quarter. At that point, she had sold candles, oils, and for those people who were more serious about their craft and rituals, she also would sell things like bat hearts and Eye of Newt, all of that
all
stuff.
Of those things.
There was a journalist who became pretty intrigued with her and what she had going on. So he inquired about the dead bats. He said, quote, "It's important to sell people the whole dried bat so they can be confident that it's the real thing and not some old chicken heart." And she was like, "Of course it is. That's witchy businesswoman integrity."
Right. And you can still do a lot with chicken hearts.
You can.
And chicken feet.
Yeah. But New Orleans wasn't always that comfortable with magic. And by magic, it's the magic magic. Not like the dude on stage cutting someone in half.
Right. Not that illusionist.
And even though voodoo was pretty widely recognized, witchcraft was always on the fringe, especially because New Orleans was a Catholic-dominated city. However, today, there are so many rumors that that Catholics are all witches.
Right. That's so funny. We heard that. They're like, you know what? All Catholics are witches.
Like, say, huh?
What? But then you think of it, you're like, maybe. No.
I don't know.
Light a candle, pray to a deity. I mean,
yeah. Who knows?
Yep.
So, through much of the 20th century, fortune telling and getting paid for it was actually illegal in New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
So they would get around it by selling tea, cookies, things of that nature, and giving you some insight into your future for free.
Right. Buy this $20 cookie and I will read your tea leaves.
Yes, exactly.
For free.
That was exactly it. So they called it the bottom of the cup tea room when they did stuff like that. And it opened its doors in 1929. So clients would come from everywhere for tea leaf readings.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's on the house.
Yep.
You just have to buy your tea.
You have to buy your tea. And now you can just go to the Vampire Cafe on Royal Street.
Yeah.
And you can have your tea leaves right there.
So now, in today, the bottom of the cup flipped the pitch. And now it's, you get a cup of tea on the house with your reading.
Right, right.
So it's kind of funny how that worked out. Like before it was, you have to pay for food and get the free reading. Right. Now you get free food with your reading.
There you go.
But with everything else, you know, the always in motion Wheel of Fortune landed perfectly in Mary Oneida Toups' tarot spread. And when she arrived in New Orleans, her being able to influence new groundbreaking witchcraft at that point. She's like, you know what? This is silly. Let's bring this out into the light.
Right.
She wanted more than just the little witchy workshop. She wanted her own coven.
I love that for her.
And she was gonna get it.
Yup.
So her shop was doing really well, and she's obviously now very well known in New Orleans. She would hold ceremonies on the shores of Lake Pontchartrain, just like Marie Laveau a century before her. However, I mean, they were similar but a little bit different, obviously. Yes. And soon the city would grant her a permit to conduct these rituals and ceremonies at Pop's Fountain in City Park.
Oh.
Her coven was growing. People were joining.
I bet.
At least, you know, those who took her magic seriously were very loyal. An interview with the Opelousas Daily World, she had told the reporter that the members of her order were high-caliber witches, and she wasn't interested in drug-abusing hippies. Priestess Mary wasn't about a full moon warriors. Witchcraft was her way of life. It wasn't like a hobby.
Right. It was her whole life.
This was her thing.
She lived and breathed that.
Yes. In 1972, Mary's recognition, I guess people knowing who she was, what she was doing was now crossing political borders. And Louisiana leaders were either afraid of her or they respected her. So regardless, they were kind of just like, whatever you want.
Right.
Just don't give me. So the state of Louisiana chartered Mary and gave her a certificate for the Religious Order of Witchcraft. So it is now recognized as an organized religion with non-profit status. Yep. And High Priestess Mary Oneida Toups was the leader. Again, we say, that she was a white witch. She wasn't dabbling in the dark stuff. And so I feel like that kind of might have made it a little more comforting, I guess, if, once explained. And in 1975, she actually had published her own book called Magic, High and Low. Because there's high magic and low magic. Right. So it was considered a resource for both experienced practitioners and those that were new to witchcraft. It definitely put her on the radar of really prominent people, especially prominent occultists across the world. Individuals like Aleister Crowley's personal secretary even sang her praises. She was still held in high regard, even by conservatives. Because there's going to be those people who are But she still was respected. She wasn't treated like crap because they didn't agree with what she was doing. They kind of still respected her. And she actually would invite people and would give talks about witchcraft to the ladies' auxiliary of the Society of Petroleum Engineers. She once held a luncheon at the Court of Two Sisters in French Quarter. But she was still a witch with secrets.
All the secrets. She kept them in her hat.
Yes. It was pretty much widely believed that she had actually once held a seance at the very famous Lalaurie Mansion. She is claimed to actually made contact with Madame Delphine. Though nobody knows the specifics of the experience, it's the rumor.
I wonder if that's where the idea came from on American Horror Story Coven.
I don't know.
Because Delphine was one of the characters.
So crazy, crazy stuff with these secrets. It is said that in 1977, someone found a mummified head in a trash bin outside of her shop. They also say Mary had a perfectly acceptable explanation for the head.
I'd love to hear it.
She said she was practicing Egyptian magic. And she began to feel bad vibrations from the head, so she tossed it.
It's you know what? Don't need this head anymore.
So I think that's just funny. The little rumors.
Yeah, the little things that go around. Mm-hmm.
Of course, Mary and her husband Boots had their ups and downs like normal people. And while there was never really an actual marriage document found, there were some clues that they broke up a couple of times and got back together. But in the 1970s, a section in the Times-Picayune was dedicated to court judgments, showed that they had separated and got back together at least one time. Then to add more mystery to her life, in October 1983, Dr. John and Boots ran ads in the Times-Picayune that said, quote, "I am not responsible for any debts other than those contracted by myself."
Oh.
This was standard verbiage when settling a divorce.
Yeah.
So we're like,
did they divorce? Yeah.
But Dr. John
and
Boots?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, what's what's actually going on?
It's a little odd.
Those men both had posted their ads just a few weeks after Mary had reportedly died. So the wonder and mystery is, could they both have been romantically involved?
More than likely, yes.
With her. Yeah.
But I mean, if you're not practicing, because, most marriages are under the Christian religion. If you're not a practicing Christian, then you don't go by the same constraints as a
right, like it's
regular
not
marriage, conventional marriage.
Yeah.
So yeah, because I mean, you do what you want.
Indeed, indeed you do.
Indeed.
So she died at 53 years old. No explanation for what or why happened. And Dr. John wrote in his book, Under the Hoodoo Moon, that she was poisoned by her enemies. However, according to her predecessors, they think she died of a brain tumor. But there's nothing proving any of those things. Her obituary is impossible to find, and so is her grave. Which was surely Mary's intention.
Right. More mystery surrounding her.
More mystery.
She was going to go out with a mysterious death, and nobody could find her.
Yep. It's crazy.
I mean, Mary sounds like a pretty cool woman. Would love to have met her.
Right. And they say, like with all the ghost tours and stuff like that are in New Orleans, there's so many.
There's tons. Yeah.
So many. That despite the fact that there are that many, you would be hard pressed to find one who actually even talks about her. Which is insane.
Yeah, that's so odd.
Because some would argue she was even the most powerful witch that had ever practiced in New Orleans. Yet, here we are.
Yeah, nothing.
Very well-read, self-taught. Like, she was, despite being, like, the high priestess of her own religion at this point.
Right.
She literally was, like, an expert in so many other religions. Like, she was very well studied. So I feel like she made a very informed choice on what she decided to be and do.
But she probably also studied because, if somebody goes, well, you shouldn't do it, but she would know.
She would know how to come back.
From that. Because I'm sure she had a lot of people shunning her and looking down on her.
And like we've talked about before, a lot of sacred texts and scripture and stuff like that can cross over and be applied to ritual and things of that nature. So, it made sense that she would do all that.
Prayer is manifesting. You're asking for things.
But I guess, she's just not spooky enough to be part of
the spooky tours, right? But they do have a bad bitch tour down there, and
why couldn't she?
Why is she not added to that? Yeah, because they cover a lot of women in New Orleans.
Yep.
In history.
And I mean, if she did do the seance, why not talk about her when you're talking about all that mansion and everything else? Like, bring her up, put her in there.
There are tons of tours that go by the Lalaurie Mansion and talk about it.
Like, air an opportunity right there, pals.
Add another one to your list.
Use it.
Yep.
So, yeah.
That's a really cool, I didn't even know about that.
So
I'm going to have to
look into it now. Witchy.
Yes. Love a good witchy story.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is the shop did get shut down. Her shop got shut down by actually the city. I'm not real positive why. I think it just was, I don't know, something weird. Semantics, probably.
Yes.
Because it was the witch's workshop. Maybe that was the problem.
Right.
I don't know. But there's Hands of Faith and stuff like that that's in there now, they do like readings and all the other stuff, but they're just listed a little differently. It's more metaphysical and healing instead of witch in the title.
Well, and then, you go a little ways back and to Kenner, and there's the Witch Depot, and they have so much like really great stuff in there that it's a shop worth going to if you're gonna, go look into some witch stuff. They have tons of stuff.
Yeah. So I don't think it would be such a problem now, but apparently like in the 90s it was kind of a big whatever. The building she lived in, honestly, there's an active listing for that building now. They want a lot of money for it, so it's probably going to be for sale for quite a while. But I mean, you've already got tenants because the store part is already open and running. But there is like a apartment condo above it. So I was like,
neat,
interesting. It's not on the street with the sausage.
Not on the sausage street. We're just going to rename Ursuline Sausage Street.
Sausage Street.
Just that block, the 700 block.
Ursuline Sausage Street.
Right.
But, it was kind of a cool little read, and it wasn't anything like that I even ever knew about before. So it was kind of cool to learn something and then go, oh, well, why don't they ever talk about her?
Right.
Like she did something big. I mean, she got it made a religion, for crying out loud. There's a whole charter.
I mean, that's why
it's recognized.
That's why we're here. Bring it to life. So we were trying to, we do dabble into the more well-known things, but then we want to bring you things that nobody's ever heard of.
Yeah.
And it's really cool.
So here we are with the never heard of, because I never heard of it before I started looking around.
Exactly. And I bet you never heard of a sausage ghost either.
Nope, sure didn't. Sure did not, but it's sticking with me.
Right.
That's for sure.
And the trunk murders.
And the trunk murders and the lady fingers.
Yes, the lady fingers. Yes.
All the crazy things that stick in your mind when you go through all this stuff.
And there's other things that go on in Louisiana. There's, like we said, the Myrtles Plantation in St. Francisville. There's all kinds of things, but New Orleans is just one of a kind. Very steeped. Like it is steeped in its own juices down here.
Ew.
Which is gross. Gallatin juice.
Stinky New Orleans gravy. Wow.
That needs to be the new bar, like Gallatin juice instead of huge ass beer.
I do think it's funny. Like, remember the cleaning of the streets and the purple carpet?
Yes.
And my son was down there playing football on the purple carpet.
They're still using the company though. They're still cleaning the streets and putting lemon sanitizer. So
I can appreciate
it. Smells a little bit better. Not as nasty as
as usual.
So
yeah, because it can get pretty ripe. That's for sure.
Especially in summer when it's hot. Whew, it's nasty.
Yes, indeed.
Very much.
You know who else is hot?
Who?
Patty Salzetta.
Oh, absolutely. She's like muy caliente.
And she created our theme music.
Yes.
She's going to be like, I cannot believe Mother of Pearl just called me hot.
I know. And I said, muy caliente.
She'll appreciate that.
Yes, I know.
For sure. But yeah, so share our links.
Yes.
Share this episode.
Share it all.
Share. Help us get out into the world.
Yes, and we are out in the world a little bit, but we want to get more into the world.
Yeah. We, I haven't looked lately to see if we've added any more countries, but
yeah, we're gonna look at that, and we'll start putting more videos out on the TikTok, and getting more stuff out there, because
get back to our social media stuff,
our normal stuff, and then hopefully soon we'll start making some recordings of us, while we're reading.
Yeah, I was peeping on some equipment for that. When I was in a Best Buy the other day, I was like, "Oh, this is cool."
Yep.
So
absolutely.
Yeah.
And
just like, how many checks is it going to take me to save enough to buy this stuff so So we can vlog.
And then I forced Pearl into a plan in October for the Gothic market in New Orleans.
She said, surprise, I bought tickets.
I was like, yeah,
we're going.
They reduced the price of the tickets, and I bought some. We're going.
So we're going.
So we're going to go check out the Gothic market and see what kind of cool stuff they have. And, of course, we got to, like, dress goth.
Yeah, well, and definitely got to, like, video a little bit of that. So we'll share it when we go. But, I mean, that's a ways out. But something to look forward to, folks.
Absolutely.
But, yeah, back to the linkage. Share it.
Share it all.
Quit making me tell you to share
Quit
it.
talking about share.
Just share it.
Yes. And as always, Hold My Sweet Tea is a Drunken Bee production.
Bzz.
And remember to stay safe out there. And just because we're dipping our toes into stuff doesn't mean you can't keep sipping. Bye. Bye.